We should start like this.
Perfect. It is recording.
Oh, perfect. Advocate for the profession. Hi, I'm Brianna Wheelock, and I'm going to be a third-year DPT student at the University at Buffalo, and I'm part of the SIG of New York APTA, which stands for the Student Special Interest Group. I'm the Advocacy Chair, and today I'll be talking about advocacy within the PT profession.
Okay, so what is the Oxford-style debate?
So at the advocacy dinner that we had Dr. Rufo, which is the head of the PT program at Upstate Medical, and he kind of did a debate on how PTs should or should not prescribe medication, and it's kind of been a thought, but it hasn't really been put out there yet. So we kind of just did like a mock debate style thing, and we were put into groups and we debated and talked about that. And basically for me, what stood out and what I said that night was that I think it would take away the interprofessional like development that we're trying to create through like physical therapists and like physicians and stuff like that. And I feel that our profession more so focuses more on a holistic approach. And
yeah,
I think
we're very anti-medical. We're very anti, like we.
And I think that'd be taking away from that and like putting a bandage on things that, sure, maybe acutely, like it might be good to help with the pain or anything that the patient's dealing with, but I think long term we should focus on movement as medicine, and that was kind of my
medicine.
Yeah, that was kind of like my side of it. Yeah, I attended lobby day and I was able to like kind of speak on a few different like bills that are trying to get passed, like how like we already have direct access, but kind of just like increasing the days and time, so like they don't have to go back to another physician after like those 10 visits or 30 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that one, and then there was one about PTAs like needing a PT in the area at some point, like especially an outpatient, trying to get rid of, trying to like remove that. So like people, especially in rural areas, or if a PT couldn't come in, a PTA could still treat those casework of patients, because then you'd be losing like that whole day if that PT couldn't come in, or say it's only one PT and they're in a rural clinic, like then you again lose all those patients if that PT can't be there. So that was like another one we were advocating for, and I just thought it was like a really like cool experience. It really just like made me appreciate the profession more, and like also see it's not really like intimidating to like talk to like these like assemblymen and like legislator people. Like they're like on our sides, like they want the best for us too, and they were really open to like listening, so it wasn't as scary as I thought. So it was a good, really cool experience, and I definitely would go back.
How many of the people went with you to lobby day?
It was about like 5 of us, like from my class, and like my professor took us. We took like a little van down. We had to leave at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was like a crazy day. It was a very long day. Yeah, Buffalo to Albany, long day for sure. But no, it was so fun.
And so what position do you have?
I'm part of the SIG, which is for the New York APTA, which SIG means Student Special Interest Group, and I'm the advocacy chair there. So kind of my main role was to put on the advocacy dinner, which I had we had Dr. Marco, which is like our federal liaison, speak there. She talked about like federal issues, and then I had Dr. Tisby. He's the president of APTA. He talked about like state legislation and stuff like that, and like payment issues. And then we had Dr. Cody Kelly. He's just like a kind of outpatient pediatrics PT out in the Syracuse area. He was able to speak there. And then we had Dr. Rufo, which was the head of the Upstate Medical PT school.
Wow.
So he did like the debate thing too. So great people were able to speak at my event. I was like very like fortunate to have them there. We had about like 20 like students attend as well, which honestly was a great turnout. It was like perfect.
Yeah.
Like we got it catered, free food and everything. Like it was great, and like Upstate was so great with us too, giving us the space like for free for that night and everything. So it was a great time, and I think everyone really opened their eyes more to like advocacy and like the profession as well within that. So it was really good. I was really fortunate though, because the other people within the SIG group, they were really helpful as well. A few of them go to Upstate, so they were able to like kind of help me with that connection, getting it there, because I was going to try to have it UB, but it was just taking a little bit longer. So then we just kind of moved it to Syracuse, and it worked out great. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to Capitol Hill Day.
Are you?
This summer, yeah. I'm getting sponsored by Dr. Marco.
No way, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. What are you going to do on Capitol Hill Day?
kind of similar, I think, to lobby day, but like more on a federal level. We'll be talking, than like state.
Which one like strikes you as like, ooh, I think I'm gonna like this a lot? Like,
definitely spinal cord. That really got to me, I feel like. I also really like my professor. She was very passionate and energetic, and in lab, I just love labs because it's more, I like more hands-on things. Like, you get to actually see how it is, and that's why I really like clinicals too, is because you really get the full experience of it instead of just like, yeah, sure, you have to learn it in the book, but like, I don't know, it's so different in the clinic. Like, I had a great experience in my first clinical, which was like a subacute place in Buffalo, and I had a great CI. She, like, our energies just matched, and it was, I didn't even realize that I would enjoy working with like geriatrics. Oh, but I have a really cool one I lined up for, okay, well, I already have my other two lined up. One's at Bounce in Syracuse next winter, so I'll like stay at home and then like go there and then just like commute there. It's like a outpatient peds. And then I have one in Phoenix, Arizona, the next one, and it's a spinal cord injury place. And I'm so excited.
That's cool.
I'm so excited. I feel, because I took neuro too this past semester, and we did like spinal cord as like our last part of it, and I don't know, it was like really cool. I liked it.
It is cool.
It's like very I like how it's challenging, and I don't know, and then the whole thing about like you can like get them to walk after they're literally like could be like paraplegic, but I don't know, it's really cool. I liked it. But yeah, I didn't even know if I would enjoy like working with like, you know, that population. I wasn't really sure if I would like a kind of a nursing home vibe, but then I got there and I was like, okay, like I don't know if I would fully do this as a job, but like this isn't bad at all. Like this is honestly kind of fun. Like, and you can be like creative with them, and like I don't know. So I really liked that. It's just like the clinical aspect. You're really able to see things that like you didn't even think that you would know that you would like.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really excited for, like these future ones too.
Nice.
But yeah, going back to your question, I would probably say like spinal cord, like neuro too, was really like intriguing for me, just to like see like the progression that these patients can have, and like the potential coming just from like literally like areflexic like to all the way to like they can like walk is so crazy. And I think like that is such like a simple thing that we take for granted obviously every day. And I think that's why I also love the profession, is because like you're getting patients back to like things that we all just do daily and like don't even think twice about, like walking and picking up a plate or something. So that's what I really like about it. So
one of the things that, like, so if you asked me that question, like what did I like in PT school then versus now being in the field for a while?
Oh my God, yeah, what is?
So like, because I thought, as you were saying, I was thinking, what did I think in PT school versus where I am now? And I loved neuro. Like I thought neuro was awesome. I loved the brain, I loved neuroscience, I liked the neuromuscular stuff, and I had a clinical at Sunnyview where I got to work with cardiopulm and like neuro patients.
Oh wow.
But it was more like stroke and TBI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was maybe a few spinal cord injuries. It wasn't like a clinic specific to it.
Yeah.
We did see a couple, and so I got to work with some of them, and it was very interesting. And I loved working with that population at my clinical there.
Yeah.
Like I would have absolutely taken the job there had I not gotten a job back here.
Yeah.
So but like in school, ortho seemed more exciting, but was a little less exciting in practice. Neuro was harder, but was more exciting in practice. Do you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
That's kind of like how I felt about it. Because like when I asked you that question, I was thinking myself, like, what would I say then versus now? You know what I mean? Like, ortho was hard. Like gross anatomy was hard. Neuro was just different. But like ortho practice is easier compared with neuro, I feel like. For ortho, there's standard practices that are being seen across the board. Like we think of ACL as being like a big one, and there's like a standard of practice when it comes to like the trajectory of returning an athlete to the field, but that standard of practice doesn't necessarily exist with like a stroke patient or a TBI or a spinal cord.
Yeah,
so
I definitely like resonate with that, because I feel like in like musculoskeletal like 1 and 2, especially 2, because that's when we were learning the treatments, learning a ton of like just CPGs, like, which is great. Like that's exactly like the guideline. Like that's like how you're gonna get your patients back to where they need to be and like want to be. But with neuro, like you can do this, but you can also, it's like different and specific to the patient, and it's like not as like a cut line like CPG of just that for like a neuro or spinal cord patient.
I sent one on plantar fasciitis to a patient the other day. I was just like, here's this clinical practice guideline. You know what I mean?
There's just so many.
But that doesn't exist for the neuro population.
Right.
So that makes it more interesting. I do think like residencies in that field are also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot to learn. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do feel like residencies are awesome in general. Whoever goes through one is obviously just pro. But I think that neuro residencies hold a different weight than like orthopedic or sports residencies do in certain ways.
Yeah.
And I think it's because in school you're not necessarily able to work with that crowd as easily as you are ortho patients or sports patients and stuff like that.
Yeah. Would you do a residency?
I did not. I applied for one at UPMC in Pittsburgh. I didn't get it.
Okay.
They took the top 2 for ortho. I was 3. So bummer. I know. I missed it by like
Would you ever like go back?
Would I ever go back to doing? Well, would I go back to doing? Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it'd actually be better. Like when they take kids fresh out of school, I think it's hard because you have no experience.
Yeah.
You haven't even worked.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about that. Like transition out of college, because I'm not gonna, like, I'm so nervous for it.
It's so much different, and that governs how you do your job, because most of healthcare is for profit.
Yeah.
And so in order to make money, you have to treat patients, which means there's a certain amount of patients you have to see every day, and it's on your schedule and how hospitals try to like fill the beds.
Especially like ortho world, like the mass amount of people they bring in, like I'm just like, that's not really my vibe. Like I want more one-on-one, like create that connection. Like, which there are obviously like outpatient orthos that are like that, but like there's some that are just, they bring them in and it's like.
It comes down to who you want to be, like who you are, like who is Bree. You know what I mean? And who does Bree vibe with? And if Bree doesn't vibe with seeing multiple patients all the time or doing that type of thing, and that can be cool for someone who's good and wants that fast-paced environment. Like they love it. They're going to thrive with a couple people at once, and they'll probably do a better job than someone who's more reluctant to do that or a little bit more reserved and is like, I really want to do that one-on-one. Okay, go do cash-based. Like that's great for you, but it doesn't mean anyone's going to get better than anybody else. It just means like what environment you fit in that you excel at.
No, I like that, and I think like this summer I'll get definitely a taste of like that, like seeing multiple patients and stuff like that. So we'll see. The transition out of school is not easy. There's no doubt about it. Like, and like where you find yourself at first obviously isn't where you find yourself in the rest of your career, which is not where you found yourself going into PT school. Like I saw, I can't remember what school it was, but it was like a PT school, and they all got in line and they were like, my name's so-and-so, I came in wanting to do sports and ortho, and I'm going into this now. It was like the graduating class. Was that UB? No, I don't think it was UB, but I literally feel like I'm the same way. Like I went in like, oh, I want to work with athletes. Yeah. It's not even a thought. Right? It's not even like, yes, like like it's not like I don't want to work with them, but that's not even like one of my top right now. My, like what I said, like either like neuro or like peds is kind of my top right now, like and working with them. And I don't think I even like really realized that side of PT until I like went through school and stuff like that. And right now, like kind of my idea is graduate, still have that one more clinical, then take the boards, which is like super freaky, and then I want to do like travel PT, and like I don't know, I just feel like that's a good one to do like right out of college maybe, because you're able to like travel and then still try different like clinics and like sites and settings and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not really, other than that, I'm not really sure, and then I finally have to figure out like where to settle, and I'm just like, no. But that, final thoughts, PT school, different from reality in good ways. What I thought then and what I think now, two different things. But I loved my experience, and like it matters. And advocate, get out and do stuff for the profession. No, it means a big difference, because all those things you bitch about when you're in practice, you can fix. Yeah, and I feel like people, like students, don't realize that until obviously we get into the profession. So it's kind of hard, but advocate now. I'm Eric. I'm Bree. Thanks for watching. Bye.